People often say rainy nights are beautiful. The fresh scent of wet earth, the peaceful rhythm of raindrops, the green surroundings. It's a moment to enjoy. But what if something or someone besides the rain follows you? This story is about Ethan, a 24-year-old who had moved from Chicago to New York City for a temporary job assignment. Although he wasn't a fan of the city's hectic lifestyle, he was passionate about his career and determined to take it to the next level. Ethan often left the office very late. Sometimes he was the last person in the building. On one such night, he wrapped up work around 11 o'clock p.m. As he stepped outside, the rain was pouring heavily. Not a single cab or rideshare was available. He stood under a corner ledge, trying to avoid getting soaked. Suddenly, the raindrops stopped hitting his head. He looked up and saw an umbrella covering him. A man stood beside him, holding the umbrella without saying a word. Ethan smiled and said, "Thanks, man. That's really kind." A man didn't respond. Trying again, Ethan said, "Seriously, people like you are rare. I appreciate it." After a pause, the man finally spoke. "I'm just a wanderer. I was with someone else yesterday. Today, I'm with you. Tomorrow, I'll be with someone new." Ethan found the man's words strange and unsettling. Maybe he was just a little off or drunk, he thought. Politely, he stepped out from under the umbrella and started walking through the rain, hoping to find a cab. As he walked, something odd caught his attention. His footsteps made the usual splashing sound on the wet road. But after a while, he started hearing two sets of footsteps. Someone or something was walking right behind him. He quickly turned around. No one was there. The city was new to him, and he didn't know the streets very well. But luckily, his apartment wasn't far from the office, so he decided to walk home. His roommate had gone out of town for a few days, so the apartment was empty. Usually, Ethan would crash right away after work, but tonight felt different. As he lay in bed, sleep just wouldn't come. The loud rain and howling wind made the windows rattle. Thunder cracked across the sky. It felt like a storm might tear the building apart. Ethan got up to get some water from the kitchen, but the moment his feet touched the floor, he jumped back in shock. The floor was soaking wet. He looked around and realized the window had been slightly open, letting the rain in. As he rushed to shut it, something caught his eye. A hand. A wet handprint was clearly visible on the glass window. Ethan screamed. How could someone's hand appear on a sixth-floor window? Terrified, he ran back to his bed. The hand vanished. Before he could process what had just happened, the lights in his apartment flickered and went out completely. Total darkness. He grabbed his phone to call a friend, but even though he had left it charging, the battery was dead. Panic set in. Suddenly, from the kitchen, he heard glass shatter. He rushed in and found a broken bottle on the floor and a black cat staring at him. Maybe the cat had knocked it over, he thought, trying to calm himself. "You're just tired, man. Alone? Rainy night? Your mind's playing tricks." He cleaned up and started heading back to his room. But what he saw next nearly stopped his heart. The same man with the umbrella was now standing in the corner of his bedroom, not moving, completely silent. Water dripped from his body, soaking the floor. A bolt of lightning lit up the room, and Ethan saw his face clearly. The man's skin was blue, not bruised, dead blue, cold, lifeless. Ethan was frozen in fear. Then the man finally spoke. "I only wanted to help. Why did this happen to me?" Ethan couldn't respond. Before he could even think, another flash of lightning struck, and suddenly, the man was standing right in front of him. His face twisted, bloated, and horrifying. Then, out of nowhere, water began flooding Ethan's room. It rose fast, filling the floor, then reaching his chest. He struggled to breathe. He was drowning. The next morning, Ethan's roommate returned. He found Ethan unconscious on the floor, gasping for air. Water spilled from his mouth as if he had been pulled out of the ocean. When he recovered, Ethan told him everything. But what was more shocking was what he saw in his dream. A vision of the Umbrella Man's death. It was a rainy night, just like the one before. That man had been leaving his office late, waiting outside for a cab. A woman nearby was picked up by a car, and as she got in, her scarf got stuck in the car door. The man ran after the car to warn her, but his foot slipped into a deep, water-filled pit. He fell in and drowned, unable to be rescued in time. Later, Ethan asked around near his office building. An old security guard told him that years ago, a frail old man drowned in a pothole right outside during a storm. That was the very man Ethan had seen that night. Ethan booked a flight the next day and left New York for good. He never saw the ghost again. But even today, whenever it rains heavily, Ethan starts shaking with fear because he knows some souls are still looking for help they never received.